let's get start demo first. So this is same series of Azure storage features. So here in this session we'll learn how we can receive the message, and as well as how we can receive and delete the message. So this is a two endpoint which we have to create it in this session. So let's just start demo. And here one endpoint which will return the message based on the count. Suppose I want to pass whatever count, so I want to pass the 10, and then once I execute, whatever message we have, they will retrieve over here, right, from that queue. And then again same message actually I want to receive and delete as well, so that I can process whatever message we have. For example, I receive a email message, right? So that I can proceed for send the email, and then we have to remove that. So that mechanism actually we have to show you. And here this other endpoint where I want to just receive and then delete. So let me verify, like for example 5, and then execute. So now see, two messages has been received, but once again check, but it is automatically delete as well. So let me check out again, let me execute. See, once I execute, it should be gone. Same things I can check in my queue as well. If I open over here, so these two messages we just read and delete. So once you two messages and refresh, see, there is a no data. So that two things actually we will implement, how we can receive that message and how we can receive and delete that message from that queue. So let's get the start implementation. So before implementation, I'm especially recommend, if you first time visit my channel, so go to my channel .NET Real World Example, and you have to watch this Azure storage series where I can just started how we can send a message into the queue, right? So let's open whatever we have, whatever we actually created in the last session. You can take from repository in my GitHub link as well. So this is same example which we have done in last session. So I will take it same one so that I can implement same. And now what I will do, I have to just create this service. I just need to create one more service over here. So like see, whatever service we have last time we just created this two. So now what I need to do, I have to create that another two method, so that I can just receive that message and as well as receive and delete the message. So I will do one by one so that you can just easily digest or how we are actually achieving that. So first I will just create one signature over here, that is called that receive message. And that receive message actually simply I just create a receive message, passes the count. Based on the count, why I'll just passing the count, I'll let you know, don't worry about that. And we actually whatever receive the message, so we have to just um add in this response. So this is our message response. So as of now we don't have as a message response, so let me create that message response inside the view model. So go to that view model, add, create the class, and here let me create that message response. And here I have to just whatever message property need to bind, and whatever message actually we have to bind as a property. So I need to just create it. So this is two property. We have to receive that message as a body, and also that message ID, which I can show you. See, these two things, right? See, message text as I treat as a body, and this is a message ID. So these two things actually I need to bind it from that over here, and then go back to here and just bring that namespace. And once it's done, now go back to your implementation, and yeah, go back to your implementation. And here I need to just implement first. Let me implement. Once we implement, it should be this one. So let me cut from here and put it to last, so that there's no confusion. And also it should be implement that receive the message. So how we can receive the message is very much easy to using that queue client which we already created over here, right? So see, we are already inject that queue client, and by passing that name, the queue name, and we can inject it over here. So using that queue client dot peak. There is a many method actually. See, there's a peak message with the without a synchronize, and also peak message with the synchronize. So see, the peak message only pick only one message, so we don't need to actually we don't require this one, because I want to retrieve all the messages. So what I will do, I'll just using this peak messages, so this will actually returning one and more, right, which is actually also show in this description. So I will use this one and passes the count, because see, this is a overload method actually. So once I, let me show you, once I this, so see, there's a overload method, the max message count. So by default is null. If it is null, so by default it will pick only just first one. But once you give that some count, so based on this actually it will return the message count. So I will just pass whatever we are passing over here, and it is asynchronous, so we have to decorate with async await, and that's it. And also see, this is returning as a peak messages as a response, right? So what I need to do, just simply I have to just store as a messages over here, and then now we have a list of messages over here. So I need to actually store that message inside this response. So let me create a message response so that I can actually get it the message, and I can add it inside this response. And this message, what I need to do, I need to iterate this messages using that value dot to list, because it is an array, right? So first I have to make it to list, and then I can use this for each loop. And inside this for each loop, what I will do, just using the lambda expression, and here I need to bind this list. So now I have this object, the peak message object, and that peak message object I need to iterate one by one and add it to over here. There's a many way actually we can do that, but yeah, this is a very simple way which I'll just show you. And now I just simply I just create this message response, and just set it that whatever value from that x dot message id, x dot message text. So I just bind it over here and add this and in this response. So this is a list of messages response, so that I am adding over here. And after that, what I will do, simply return to response. That's it. So that is done. Now go back to our controller. I need to create a one new endpoint, so that I can just get it, that I can call that service and get that response over here. Simply I have to use that not http post, because it is a get call. So I retrieving message, so I will use the get call. And here I can just use get uh, peak messages, and simply I need to pass over here as a max or just integer message and count. By default I set is a 5, and then I need to pass this one to here. I just use that whatever's receive message, and here I need to pass that count property. That's it. And here simply I have to return as an object which I have to store over here, like for example messages, right? And this messages I need to pass it to inside this result. That's it. And now let me build, and now run. Now it's running. Now see, this new endpoint has been created. And if I just execute, now by default is file 5, I'll just keep it 5. Once I execute, it should be written whatever we message, right? See, we have a 4 message. Now if I go to here, now see this, we have a 4 message. For example, I want to add one more message. For example, let me add one more for here, add one more messages. So execute. Once I execute, and if I just execute one more retrieve message, so let's see that message also be getting over here, right? So this is just simply we can just whatever message we push, so that message we can retrieve over here. So now we'll implement one more which I'll show you as a demo. Once I receive message, so then message should be processed, and once processed it should be deleted as well. So now go back to your solution. Let me stop first, and what I will do, again I have to go to that service folder, Azure service bus folder, and this service, and here I need to create another method which will be is receive message as well as delete. So receive and then delete will take a same count of same parameter, but it will actually receive or delete. And go back to your implementation, concrete implementation, and implement again that method. Once I implement here, we have to do similar kind of things. Let me copy all things because we have to do same things over here, but yeah, little change we have to done over then. So what I need to do first, just using a async and decorate this. But here instead of peak, what I will do, that receive message. So there is a two method again. It is a single receive message and then the multiple receive message. So I will use that multiple receive message also. In this multiple receive message, just pass same parameter which will return all the message. And here what I need to do, again we have to just bind and store. But once I bind in a one by one iteration, then I need to delete as well. So there's a one more method I need to call inside that queue client, that is a delete. So I will use the delete message, and here they expect two parameter. One is that message id as well as pop receipt. So where I will get that message id, I will get the message id from that message id here, and also x dot pop receipt. That's it. And simply I need to use await and make it to async. This for each iteration, make it to async. That's it. And now this service I have to call to our endpoint. So go to our controller Azure here, and what I need to do, I have to just created another endpoint for this, and here just make it a differentiate over here because this is a common name should be. So what I need to do, simply I just change it to delete, receive, and delete, right? And here also I need to change like receive, receive message, and delete, delete. That's it. And the last things what I need to do, I need to call that receive and delete. So this is that final changes which we have done. So once I done, let me run and see any actions like in this endpoint. First let me show you how many messages over there. So now we have only just 5 messages, but yeah, I can increase the count. Let me see, it is still 5. Yeah, it is still 5. And once I receive, it should be delete, like, so I'll show you again here. See, there's a 5 message. And now once I will call this endpoint, uh let me execute. So see, it is receiving all, but once you go back here then refresh, so see, now has been gone because I receive and then delete. So this is a mechanism actually, that Azure Storage Queue. So whatever message you just push, so once you receive, whatever your performance actually, what you are want, your logic, like first you read, and then whatever logic you want you can just put over here. For example, my processor logic, right? So whatever my processor logic would be over here, then I process, and once I complete it, then I forcefully tell okay it should be deleted. But in our Azure function, it automatically that will be handled. So I'll show you once I create that Azure function how they can uh, internally taking care of those things. So that our upcoming session will do that. But yeah, as of now, just for understand perspective, you have to understand like, okay, how are we have to just receive the message and how we can delete the message. So that's it for this session, and thank you. Have a nice day, and don't forget to like, subscribe and share.